coin toss right after the national anthem and got some bright light on Tim Hortons Field.
Captains for the Tiger Cats, Bo Levi Mitchell, Gordon White, Stavros Katsantonis are out there. What a year for Stavros last year. You think back to a year ago, and Tunde Adeleke was the starting safety. He'd get some time to play, didn't know how much, and then an injury to Tunde, and that allowed Stavros to play, and he has really solidified himself. Led the Tiger Cats in interceptions last season with 5. Here's the coin toss. It looks like the Tiger Cats won the toss. They defer. Ottawa says they'll receive. Levi Mitchell made the call, and we will see Bo eventually, just not right off the start here. So Ottawa will get the ball to begin the football game. Ottawa's an interesting story, Luke. They struggled last year, 4-14 record. However, when you dig a little bit deeper, they were close. In 11 of their 14 losses, those games were decided in the last 3 minutes. And 7 of their games, so getting close to half of their games, were decided by 4 or fewer points. So they were very close. The record probably doesn't show how good they were last year, and you'd have to think they're taking a step forward this year.
Yep, and you can't look back at that Ottawa REDBLACK season without thinking of Jeremiah Mazzoli and what might have happened had he been able to stay healthy. Looks like they're going to go through at least most of the first half of the season here without Jeremiah Mazzoli, and they'll have a lot to figure out there. But it is just amazing, RJ, and 2 months, 3 months from now, you'll think back to these games and think, man, you couldn't have even imagined what's going to happen. You know, there's just so many factors that go into putting together a 6-month-long football season, but you got to start somewhere, and why not today?
For sure, and of interest for Tiger Cats fans, there's a few former Tiger Cats on the REDBLACKS, but we won't see many of them not playing. Braylon Addison, Joban Santos Knox, Jalen Acklin, Lorenzo Malden, they are not playing. Of course, Luke mentioned Jeremiah Mazzoli not in the lineup. Michael Domagala will be kicking for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, though, so we'll likely see a little bit of him.
Always a little trading in a 9-team league.
There's some overlap.
Yeah, it gets very crossed over ties as the longer you play, all of a sudden you have former teammates on pretty much every team. And certainly with the REDBLACKS, we have a little back and forth, and then the men in blue down the QEW we'll see shortly. And there was, of course, a lot of back and forth trades on rosters between those two teams as well. So I think it kind of makes an interesting part of our league here in the CFL. The crossover of players' careers.
So Ottawa all set to go. Tiger Cats were in a huddle before they spread apart to get set for this kickoff. Mark Leggio will kick off. Carthel Flowers-Lloyd, number 43, what a great rookie season he had for the Tiger Cats. Almost broke the CFL special teams tackle record last season. He finished 6 shy of that record, and he'll be a big part of special teams this season as well. First preseason game of the year is underway as Mark Leggio kicks it off. And it is caught and fumbled, but fumbled out of bounds. So caught at about the 4, and right away that wet field is causing a problem. Devontae Dedman, who's very reliable returner, he wiped his hands right away, so he couldn't handle it clean. Not well, will have to start from their own 7.
Yeah, spectacular kick, though, outside of the numbers all the way down to the 4 or 5 yard line where, like you said, it was then bobbled, and it looked like maybe that ball was kind of turning in air, sort of sliced off the foot, but unbelievable placement to start the season off.
So the Tiger Cats defense on the field. There'll be a few changes there. Looking back to last season, there'll be 3 returning starters from game 1, so tons of changes. Ottawa passing, trying to go deep on that opening throw, and it's a little overthrown. It was intended for Dylan Stoner, and Richard Leonard in coverage, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, Richard Leonard playing the field halfback there. He's one of the veteran guys in this defense now and has been a part of Hamilton teams for a long time. Got turned around, but he just catches up takes out the space so well and got to the point of that throw on the corner route from the receiver.
So 2nd and 10 from their own 7. Ottawa in the shadows of their own goalposts, and Drew Brown, the quarterback, will dump this one off short to the running back, Reichel Armstead. And it won't be enough for the first down.
Well, look at that. So to start a drive after a fielded kickoff on your opponent's 7-yard line, that's just a spectacular drive start average in the CFL. And then you allow a yard and a half, and then they're in punt formation. Great way to start the game for the Ticat defense.
Michael Domagala is doing the punting for the Red Blacks, and it's a high punt, not very deep. It bounces at Ottawa's 50, and Lawrence Woods takes it just on his side of the field, and he'll get it right back to almost where that ball bounced, to the Ottawa 50.
Yeah, I think that Lawrence Woods watches that when they get back to training camp at McMaster, and you got to get back into the rhythm and the timing of a full game and making split-second decisions. But for that one, you got to come up and catch it out of the air, and this ball's 15 yards forward of this just because you touched it.
Luke, I feel like I've heard that for 4 years.
Well, I'm right back at it again. I took 6 months off, and I'm back to complaining about no yards penalties.
It's a great point. It's a great point. You were a special teams star as far as strategy when you played.
Yes.
You give a valuable insight. Bo Levi Mitchell in at quarterback, and how about this for chemistry over the middle? He hits Tim White with the pass, and the leading receiver in the CFL last year makes the catch and gets the first down inside the Ottawa 40.
So we saw this in the black and gold scrimmage a week ago, and they're kind of doing this. It's not a no huddle like hurry up no huddle like they're trying to be as time efficient as possible. They're slowing it down, but it still is a no huddle. They're sort of muddling around, and Bo Levi Mitchell's calling out the plays.
Bo in the shotgun. He's got running back Greg Bell just to his right and 3 receivers to his left. That's the wide side of the field. The handoff goes to Greg Bell, and he wears number 5. He was headed to his left, cut back up the middle, and gets a good run of close to 8 yards.
Yeah, Greg Bell is interesting. I've enjoyed these first glimpses we've seen of his time as a Ticat. That was a very patient run to the left side behind Brandon Revenberg, Coulter Woodmansey, and he breaks inside for a really nice gain on first down.
So his forward momentum took him a little further. The spot wasn't that kind. It was about 5.5 yards for Bell, who's 6 feet, 200 pounds. Shamar Bridges, he makes the catch for the first down. He was hit, and then the ball popped loose, but he was already down. A lot of talk about Shamar Bridges in this training camp, and there's high hopes for him this year.
Yeah, great height. Great job of going and attacking the football with his hands. Shamar Bridges gets that catch. Tim White had the first catch. You notice that the ball came out at the end of both of those tackles. It's just, you have to get used to getting tackled all the way to the ground and securing. No fumbles, but still the ball did pop out both times.
It's a great point, Luke. Through training camp, there's not a lot of heavy contact, so players are getting that for the first time. Fake fly sweep to Tim White, and the handoff goes to Greg Bell. It won't get much, maybe a yard. Tiger Cats in good position, though, Luke. They're inside the 25 on the Ottawa 24.
Yep. Back right up to the line, no huddle.
2nd and 9 for the Tiger Cats. They'd like to get this into the end zone. They've worked a lot on their red zone play. They're almost there. Bo Levi Mitchell looking end zone, throws up in the air, jump ball, and just out of the reach of Shamar Bridges. Pretty good coverage there for the Red Blacks. Deshaun McNary.
Okay, they're going to run the field goal team out there. I actually really loved the placement there from Bo Levi Mitchell. I thought he gave Shamar the best chance he could to make the play. Not a risky throw, not a high chance of an interception there. You've already got points. You're already in field goal range. You've secured your team a chance to get 3 points, and he gave your tall guy on the outside a shot in the end zone with a really nice throw.
Mark Leggio on a wet field will attempt his first field goal of this preseason, trying to get the Tiger Cats the lead. Leggio 87.2% successful last year, and the 31-yard field goal is good for Mark Leggio, and the Tiger Cats have an early lead on their first possession of the game They get 3, and it is a 3-0 lead with 10.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter at Tim Hortons Field. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats with a 3-0 lead. Mark Leggio, 31-yard field goal. Offense looked pretty good. Tim White made a catch. Shamar Bridges made a catch. Bo, a couple of nice passes. Greg Bell had a run. And here's the REDBLACKS on the kickoff. Devontae Dedman, he's dangerous. He took it at about his 15, and he's going to be up very close to the Ottawa 50. He ran off to that left side, had pretty good blocking, and a nice return for the REDBLACKS.
Yeah, it makes up for the missed chance on the opening kick of the game where the REDBLACKS started on their own 7-yard line. This is a very successful return, almost to their own 50. And the Ticats have sort of some good and some bad to work on already with their kickoff film from the first preseason game.
Well, Luke, you and I were at the black and gold game last Sunday along with Mike Daly, and Tiger Cats worked on defense, holding a team deep, and now Ottawa much better field position. Drew Brown, a handoff, and it's a good tackle there by the Tiger Cats. Kyle Wilson, who appears to have a starting spot at that middle linebacker.
Yeah, he's been producing as a Tiger Cat in whatever way he has been able to get on the field in these past seasons, and now it looks like you said, he's going to be out there as a starter, and you can he's one of those guys, when he gets a downhill run, he sort of jumps off visually off the field because his speed and his ability to run up and fill the space.
Armstead, the running back for Ottawa, just managed a yard, so it's 2nd and 9 from the Ottawa 49. Drew Brown drops back to pass, completes the pass just across midfield, but right there immediately is a sandwich. A couple of big hits for the Tiger Cats, including potentially Simone Lawrence's replacement, Ray Wilborn. The other tackler, Mark Milton, the corner. So a couple of new Tiger Cats make a nice tackle and keep Ottawa short of the first down.
Ticats have one too many men on the field right now.
Oh, let's see. No flag, so it's preseason. Oh, there's the flag. Actually, a lot of flags have fallen now. There's at least 3 on the field. And this return was Lawrence Woods earlier, and we'll see a few guys today. This was Kalen Geiger. But penalty coming up, and Luke already called it. Too many men for the Tiger Cats, and the offense will come onto the field, hemmed pretty deep in their own zone. It's 3-0 Tiger Cats, 8.5 to go in the opening quarter. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network.
We
by the Tiger Cats on the return with too many men allowed Ottawa to keep possession of the football, and they were on the Tiger Cats 44, and Drew Brown makes a short pass. They get a first down, and now they're inside the 35.
Yeah, you're just thankful that that kind of thing is a preseason penalty, because, and it really is. 13 men is, you got so many guys on the roster, and there's mixed up lineups and things, but that's a turnover effectively. Just as impactful as a turnover, that 13-man penalty.
A penalty like that could cost a football game.
Yes.
A previous catch was made by Andre Miller, and a throw deep.
No.
And there is going to be a flag. So there was a bit of a battle down in that corner with Mark Milton, the Tiger Cats corner.
So as you watch that, it's a go route down the outside of the field, and Milton in coverage there. He's in trail technique, and as he's catching up, but what I liked that he did is he turned his shoulders and head back to the football. There is a little contact, but you can make contact if you're making a play to the football, and I thought he did that just fine. So maybe there's some hand fighting that went on there that is sort of only visible to the refs, at least from our perspective, but I thought Milton played it well.
Khalil Pimpleton was the intended receiver. He's not very big, but he's fast, and he might be a deep threat for Ottawa this year. Ball's on the Hamilton 4. Handoff goes to Armstead. He rolls, and he has enough to get into the end zone. So the Ottawa REDBLACKS score the first touchdown of the game, and they take the lead about midway through the opening quarter.
Well, how about that? I mean, you get the 13-man penalty, which, like we said, is a turnover. They get the ball back. They keep their drive going. And then another penalty, the pass interference, brings the ball down all the way to the goal line effectively, and Ottawa runs it in. So it's that entire drive is a result of errors, right? And it's the kind of thing that those plays are going to be watched again and analyzed by this Ticat defense and special teams unit, because you gotta limit those mistakes when the games start to count.
Those two penalties allow Ottawa to get the touchdown. The convert is good, and Ottawa leads the Tiger Cats 7-3 with 7:05 remaining in the opening quarter. Great to have you with us. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Season between Ottawa and Hamilton. REDBLACKS get the first touchdown from 4 yards out. Couple of penalties by the Tiger Cats helped them out on that drive. Rykel Armstead, the running back, got the touchdown. It's 7-3, Ottawa leading. Tiger Cats on this kickoff have Lawrence Woods back, and he's settling under it at his 17. He's running along the numbers, gets past the 30, the 35, and then he's tripped up just a little bit short of the 40-yard line. So Lawrence Woods couple of seasons ago was a star returner. Then it looked like he'd be starting on defense last year. He actually went to BC and was cut by the Lions, and he's back here and might be the returner for the Tiger Cats. Bo Levi Mitchell back to pass, throwing fairly deep across midfield, completes the pass to Tim White. He's in a sea of Red Blacks. It's preseason, and he's trying to break tackles right near midfield. It's a first down for the Tiger Cats, and we saw it last Sunday, Luke. The chemistry between Bo and Tim White is peaking, and we're in the preseason. It's great to see.
Yeah, deep curl route there. Keandre Smith running the deep dig. It was a 3-receiver set, max protection, which they still have in the game right now.
Tim White, only receiver off to the left for Bo Levi Mitchell. It's a handoff, and Greg Bell, a couple of stutter steps, decides to go straight forward, and he'll have 4 or 5 yards on that run.
So James Tuck, number 40 for the Tiger Cats, is in as like a fullback tight end body, and you actually see Brandon Revenberg leaving his normal guard position, and you can see him giving the symbol with his hands on his chest to the referee, declaring eligible on some of these plays. So they're really experimenting with big bodies moving around in the backfield into tight end positions. Now they're back to your standard 5-receiver set, 3 to Bo's right, but it's cool to see them working with some different, playing around with these formations.
2nd and 6 from the Ottawa 52-yard line. Bo Levi Mitchell stomps his right foot, gets the snap in the shotgun, stays in the pocket, throws to his right, and it's out of the reach of Keandre Smith. It goes incomplete.
I think just a little bit of a missed throw. I think Keandre Smith, he had a lot of field out in front of him as he ran just 5 yards and out to Bo Levi Mitchell's right, but I think Bo just missed him a little bit outside. But I don't know. I'm enjoying what's going on here offensively. They had a couple first downs they've strung together. They got the field goal early on, but I think it's sort of a high-paced offense, and I imagine it's going to be tough for teams to keep up with that.
Bailey Flint, he was with the Tiger Cats last year, left due to personal reasons. Corey Vedvik came in. Both those punters are global players. They're both in the game vying for that punting spot. And the kick goes to Devontae Dedman. He lost yards because the special teams of the Tiger Cats was so great. Anthony Federico, one of the Tiger Cats that was down there quickly.
Wow, what a great job by the Ticats punt coverage team. Tackled for no loss, and to do that while respecting that 5-yard halo, that's just an incredible job by this team. And a lot of that starts with how well placed the punt is. In this case, perfect placement, which is outside the numbers, in between the sideline and the numbers on the Ottawa 15.
Carthel Flowers-Lloyd was also there. Gordon White was also there. Ante Milanovic-Litre was also there. So Tiger Cats, terrific coverage. 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Ottawa has the lead. It's 7-4, and they're starting from their own 15. Drew Brown just got the pass away, and it was close. It was close to being picked off by Kenneth George Jr., just a little low. It's incomplete.
Yeah, Ticats brought pressure there. Great start to the drive. If you can get a team back in their own end like they are on their 15 right now, to get no yards in that first down, it's just so hard to overcome this 2nd and 10 all the way back in your own end with no rhythm going offensively.
Sun is out at Tim Hortons Field. Crowd getting loud for the defense. 2nd and 10, Ottawa on their own 15. Brown steps back, pressure's coming, and he escapes the initial pressure, but then he is tracked down by Nick Usher. Another new Tiger Cat. Nick Usher with the quarterback sack, but there are a couple of flags. Tom Valesi, the referee.
I see some disheartened Tiger Cats out there, like they're expecting that this is against them. I thought it might be a holding call. It was in the backfield where the Ticats had all the pressure coming in.
Yeah, so
there we go.
Well, Tiger Cats got one too. So a penalty to both teams on that play. And it looks like it's the Ottawa offense staying on the field. So Tiger Cats took a little worse penalty.
That's right. Automatic first down, and it netted a 5-yard gain in favor of Ottawa. So unfortunately, the Ticats again are extending the Ottawa's drive as a result of penalties. When in reality, it feels you sense and can see on the field that the Tiger Cats are sort of outplaying the Red Blacks. with the massive exception of the penalties that are happening.
Well, we'll be talking to head coach Scott Milanovich in Tiger Cats post-game following the game, and we'll talk about some penalties, his thoughts. I remember when he came in last year, that was one thing he said, we've got to stop taking so many penalties and limit turnovers. So that'll be talked about. We'll see if that improves as this game goes on. Handoff and a loss. Casey Sales was able to get Armstead for a loss of 2 on that run. Casey Sales had 5 tackles for losses last season.
It's great to see him back there early on, out there doing everything. We remember this time last year he was playing all sorts of positions for the Ticats, and
he was on offensive
what a
line.
great season he had.
2nd and 12 from their own 18. The pass is complete, but there's Richard Leonard to make the tackle and limit the progression of the receiver, Andre Miller. So once again, Red Blacks short of a first down and will have to punt.
Great job by Richard Leonard, playing just an off man. You know you can give up that 6-yard hitch, which he does, and he comes in to make the sure tackle right away, leaving a 3rd and 5. Savvy play from the vet.
Michael Domagala back on his own 10-yard line. Getting set to return this kick for the Tiger Cats. Looks like Dev Holmes. It's a good kick from Domagala. That sent Holmes back inside his 30. He tried to spin to the inside, back to the outside. But the Red Blacks show they've got some pretty good punt coverage too. And he will get to about the 32-yard line, maybe the 33. Still 2:46 to go in the opening quarter. Ottawa leads Hamilton 7-3. We'll be right back on Audio Network. This afternoon, he's not playing for the Tiger Cats. We've seen a bit of Greg Bell so far. Bo Levi Mitchell still in at quarterback. Tiger Cats starting this drive from their own 33, and the pass over the middle is incomplete. Intended for Omar Bayless.
Good job there from the Ottawa defense. Tim White and Keandre Smith clustered to the right side, and really they were matched up and one-on-one pressed up in the man. Nobody was really had that much separation.
2nd and 10 here for the Tiger Cats. Bo's pass a little bit low. Bridges made the catch, but he had to go down to get it, so couldn't get any yards after the catch, and it's not enough for the first down. So the Tiger Cats will have to punt again. And it's Bailey Flint, the Australian-born punter. Seems like we'll probably see him in the opening half. Might see Corey Vedvik, the Norwegian-born punter, in the second half. Turned out to be a beautiful day. Sure didn't look that way a couple hours ago when it was pouring rain. sunshine right now, and it's warming up. A little over a minute and a half to go in the opening quarter. Ottawa with a 4-point lead. Bailey Flint's punt. It's high in the air. Waiting for it at his own 19, Devontae Dedmon. Starts off to his right, and he's got a bit of a hole. Goes to his left, and nobody's close to him. Devontae Dedmon is taking this back. I don't think he got touched, and it's a punt return touchdown for the Red Blacks. Devontae Dedmon made it look easy.
I actually liked the way that this started off. I thought the Ticats were in good position. I was looking at David Vereen, number 27 for the Ticats, as he set the edge on that coverage team to the left side and tried to pinch the space out there, forcing Dedmon to go inside. But that second level of coverage just wasn't there or wasn't in the right position. Again, these full speed live reps at a play like this are hard to simulate, and you do a couple of them in training camp, but Devontae Dedmon finds a gap.
He was able to jog in from 20 yards out, turn the afterburners off at that point, and Ottawa opening up a lead at Tim Hortons Field. It's now 14-3, and we're not even through the first quarter yet. So Ottawa gets their first touchdown thanks to a couple of costly penalties from the Tiger Cats. And then they get the punt return touchdown from Devontae Dedmon, who is a proven returner in this league.
That's so true, right? And that 13-man penalty that sort of led to extending the drive for their first touchdown, that was also on the punt return team. Now the punt team gives one up. I mean, the special teams, I can hear all my special teams coaches in my career just complaining about how little time they got compared to offense and defense to get all their stuff done. And you do have so many situations to rep and to work on, and a couple, those early days of camp and getting exposed here.
How valuable is this video from this game going to be for special teams, Luke?
Tons. We've got tons of penalty examples. We've even got ball security examples. And certainly some coverage and return team examples.
Here's Geiger on the return. He was almost brought down inside the 30, stayed on his feet, and got another 5 or 6 yards. Looks like he'll be right around the 35-yard line. They're going to spot him actually at the 34. So Kalen Geiger, what have we seen now? 4 returners for the Tiger Cats. So Scott Milanovic is letting those guys battle it out and see what they can do to find out who the 2024 returner will be for Hamilton. Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. Bo Levi Mitchell, play action. He's got lots of time. Great protection. Passes high, and it is incomplete. Almost a great catch. But Keandre Smith just couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, missed on the throw and the catch, and it's hard to say. Of course, nobody can defend the perfect throw, but receivers and their angles and breaks play a part in that as well. That was a miss there, but that was, again, that 3-receiver set with a heavy protection. And I think Bo's got a ton of time when they've been out there in the bigger personnel bodies.
Yeah, the offensive line's done a great job. Bo's had time from the 34, a 2nd and 10. Another low pass to Shamar Bridges. This time, he got himself in a spot that was beyond the first down marker, and it was a low pass. He made the catch, and it's a first down Tiger Cats.
That's good. You need that little sigh of relief there to overcome the 2nd and 10, especially after the miss, whether it was a bad throw or a drop from Keandre Smith, to keep this drive going after what's been a very quiet sort of start or end of that first quarter, I should say.
Tiger Cats up to their own 46 now on the near hash mark. One receiver to the left for Bo Levi Mitchell. It's a running play. They keep it on the ground, running off to the left. And that was Kelvin Tyler Jr. getting his first carry for the Tiger Cats. Again, the offensive line doing a terrific job opening up a hole, and he ends up with 3 or 4 yards. So that's it for the opening quarter. Ottawa got a special teams touchdown, and they ran one in as well and have a 14-3 lead after 1 quarter at Tim Hortons Field. We'll take a break and be right back with the second quarter on the Ticats Audio Network. interception missed as we come back. Tiger Cats on their own 50 now, going from left to right, and Bo Levi Mitchell's pass intended for Keandre Smith. He couldn't make the catch, so that's incomplete, and that brings up third down, and the Tiger Cats offense not getting a lot of first downs, Luke.
Yeah, they got the chains moved once there, but that was the second sort of throw that didn't work out with Keandre Smith. That one was certainly a drop. And to move the chains, he would have had to secure that catch and immediately make a good move up the field, but unable to have an opportunity to do that here, and unfortunately punt formation again.
So the kick from Corey Vedvik, who's in punting. It's a nice high kick, and just at the 11-yard line, nowhere to run. This time it's Tobias Harris on the return. I think the Red Blacks are fine with what they saw from Devontae Dedman. He'll probably have the rest of the day off. So Harris getting a chance, and the Tiger Cats didn't let him get much.
No, great job covering that down, and one Ticat after another to fill in the void there, forcing really no return. And it's funny, you're going to watch that too. You're going to see the things that guys are doing well, but there's been a balance of special teams play, good and bad, from the Ticats.
So Ottawa, not great field position again. They're beginning from their own 13. Drew Brown still in at quarterback. Empty backfield. Actually, that's Dustin Crum in at quarterback. And he was a revelation for a while for the Red Blacks last season, more as a running quarterback, and they went on a bit of a run with him, and then teams seemed to figure him out. That pass deflected and goes incomplete.
Yeah, Cedric Wilcott's the second running in from the left side. He's able to get a hand on it and almost tipped that into an interception radius there for his Ticat defensive backs. Not quite, though.
2nd and 10 for the Red Blacks on their own 13. Crowd ramping it up for the defense. Crum gets the snap, throws immediately to his right. And the Tiger Cats, they're right away after the catch is made by Eli Stove. And they keep the Red Blacks well short of the first down. They'll have to punt.
All right, Lawrence Woods back in the return position here. He's going to be able to field this right around center field. Every special teams unit wants to give their offense a chance to start on the opponent's half of the field at least once or a few times a game. This would be an opportunity here.
Michael Domagala, the former Tiger Cat, punting for the Red Blacks. He's standing on his 3-yard line. A pretty good punt off to the left for Lawrence Woods. He will get it just on his side of midfield, runs it across the Ottawa 50, and he just ran out of real estate. He was outside the numbers, forced out of bounds. There is a flag on the play. We'll sort that out when we come back. We're early in the second quarter at Tim Hortons Field. Ottawa leads 14-3. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network.
Courtney Steve.
rainy, then sunshine, a little overcast now. We're early second quarter. Greg Bell, the running back, looked like he might have slipped on a wet field as he tried to cut back to his right. He didn't get much. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like no gain.
Clouds came back a little bit, and we had all the rain earlier today. It looks like it might still be a little bit wet and affecting some of the footing on the field. I don't think it's wet enough to be affecting the ball handling, though, or in the quarterback's hands or the security in the runner's hands.
Levi Mitchell still in the game. 4 receivers to his right, but he's looking left and throwing left. Shamar Bridges, he was wide open. The pass was there, and he didn't make the catch. Incomplete. And the Tiger Cats will have to punt again.
I know I just said it's not wet enough to be affected. That did look like a slippery ball right through his hands.
It did, yes.
Whether it was a drop or slip or whatever, but that's 2, call it maybe 3, depending on how you want to categorize Keandre Smith's first missed throw with Bo. But you've got 2 or 3 drops in the last 2 drives of Ticats offense.
And thus, they're not able to move the football, and Corey Vedvik out to punt once again. And Harris was waiting to catch that. He won't be able to because that's out of bounds. The punt is out of bounds. And the flags fly.
Yes, illegally so. And so this ball is going to get brought up from here, and that's another penalty on the Ticats special teams. And honestly, these guys, I don't think that all the penalties we're seeing are telling even of it. You got to get these. You got to get these sort of bumps and the rust out in these live reps. But a lot of these are just either mental mistakes, like the pre-snap penalty, the personnel penalty that we saw with the punt team, and this one, the physical error of kicking out of bounds. These punters got to get used to the live action as well.
Yeah, it just seems.
Illegal punt out of bounds, Hamilton. 15-yard misconduct penalty, Hamilton number 43. Up 25 yards, automatic first down.
So that's Carthel Flowers Lloyd. So not just the out-of-bounds penalty. And all of a sudden, the Red Blacks, who were probably going to be starting inside their 20, we moved up to the 46-yard line. That changes the field position significantly for Ottawa.
Well, you look back at that last drive, there was a penalty on the punt return that brought them back to their own side of the field. You had a run for no gain, you had a drop, and then 2 penalties on the punt. So you got to get rid of the penalties so you can at least see clearly what you're doing right and wrong, in live play.
So Red Blacks with Dustin Crum, he pitches the ball to Armstead, who runs to the right, and then it was a foot race to see if he could cut it upfield. Tiger Cats did a pretty good job of not letting him do that. He got a gain of 1 or maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, good job bouncing that run further and further to the outside. It's the pursuit of that second level that stops a play like that from happening. That ball carrier sees some daylight, but all of those secondary defenders from the linebacking positions and the defensive backs fill the space.
Mark Milton, Kenneth George Jr. in hot pursuit to limit that gain. 2nd and 9 from the 47. Crum, pressure's coming, gets the ball away, but he might have been hit just as he was throwing. It was short, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, not quite cover 0 where you truly have every free defender blitzing except for 1 man per each eligible, but it was almost there. They had 1 lower defender who dropped out, but they brought a lot of pressure there and successfully. Red Blacks not able to complete that check down into the blitz.
Trevon Mason, big 6'5", 290-pound defensive lineman, was right there in Crum's face, forcing him to rush that throw. Lawrence Woods inside his 20 for this Domagala kick, and it is a short one. Domagala knew it right away, and he started running because if he could get to that football, but it was so short that the Red Blacks punt team didn't realize where the ball was, and penalties fly. It'll be a no yards on Ottawa. 10:33 to go in the opening half. Ottawa leads 14-3. Bo Levi Mitchell in the offense coming back on the field when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network.
When game day hits.
certainly see lots of Tim White touchdowns this season. He had 9 of them last year to lead the Tiger Cats. Levi Mitchell getting some reps here. We weren't sure if he'd play the full first half. There's still just under 10 and a half minutes to go before halftime, so he might not, but still in there for the Tiger Cats. Dumps one off to the running back, Greg Bell, who has some blocking help ahead of him. And those offensive linemen got out there. David Beard was there, looked like Revenberg was there as well, and that allowed Bell to run for the first down.
Yeah, that was running out of the 5 receiver set. We've been talking about their balance between heavy personnel and a true spread 5 receiver set, but they're running the ball both ways, which is, you know, sort of experimental, playful, and that one worked out for a huge gain.
That moves the Tiger Cats up to their own 47. Fresh set of downs. Levi Mitchell calm in the shotgun. Takes a look to his right. Stomps his right foot. Now he has to throw quick because the pressure's coming, and it's a great catch. Tim White over the middle. The tight coverage didn't matter. Perfect throw. Great grab. It's a first down for the Tiger Cats, but there is a flag.
Yeah, it'll be holding coming back on the Ticats here.
10-yard penalty.
Which is
repeat, first down.
Which is surprising too, because that ball got out of Bo Levi Mitchell's hands so quickly. You know, you wouldn't. That's not a classic holding scenario, but obviously somebody was grabbed on a little bit too much. Great release by Tim White, man coverage, and he had to slant to Bo's left. That was just a sort of a textbook man coverage, quick read.
Well, it was a nice-looking play between Bo and Tim. That moves the Tiger Cats back to their own 37, and now they need 20 yards to get to that first down. This is a short pass to Tim White. Dangerous one, too, in the preseason. Over the middle, and there were some REDBLACKS there. Tim avoided a big hit, but didn't get much after the catch.
Yeah, still a little contact there after the catch on your star receiver, which is tough. I mean, you went from first and 20 to second and 18 and took a big hit to do it.
Yeah. You don't want that in the preseason. So they're going to call it 2nd and 17. Tiger Cats up to their own 40. Let's see what offensive coordinator Scott Milanovich has in store here. Bo Levi Mitchell waits, and Keandre Smith, he opened up on that left side, made the catch. And I don't know, maybe you could hear Luke. He was pulling for Keandre to get to that first down. You could see him closing on the marker, but he just didn't get there.
Look at that. They're going to stay on the field here. So it's 3rd and 4, and Bo Levi Mitchell, after a nice throw to Keandre Smith there, they're going to give it a shot. I like it. It's preseason.
Last one from about this distance, the punt went out of bounds, so why not go for it and see what happens? 3rd and 4, preseason. Tiger Cats trailing 14-3. Bo Levi Mitchell, pretty good time back there. Throws over the middle. It's caught by Tim White. He's just catching everything that's close to him and battling for extra yards. It's just in his DNA. He can't help it. Doesn't matter that it's preseason, and he is down close to that Ottawa 35. Big play on 3rd down by the Tiger Cats.
So that really was a spectacular throw there between the Mike and the Sam linebacker. There's a space that's diminishing as the play continues, and Tim White on an angle behind there, and Bo Levi Mitchell puts it with perfect timing into that gap for a nice gain.
Tiger Cats on the 35. A good gamble by Hamilton to keep this drive going. 4 receivers to the left for Bo Levi Mitchell. Looking over the middle, throwing right. Shamar Bridges has separation.
Wow.
It's a touchdown. Great pass, great route running. Shamar Bridges, the touchdown, and the Tiger Cats close the gap on the REDBLACKS.
Wow. They take the risk on 3rd and 4 around midfield, and they got the reward for it. Bo Levi Mitchell, calm in the pocket. They've had a holding call. They've had some misses and some drops, but now this passing offense establishing some pace and rhythm, some taking control of some of the momentum. And that 3rd down, I mean, imagine if they would have punted it there. You're still feeling like a sputtering first half here.
Yeah.
A little bit of a delayed entrance to the field here for the field goal.
Sprinting on Mitchell Townsend. And the convert is good, and the Tiger Cats are trailing by 4. It's 14-10. Shamar Bridges, the talk of training camp, runs a terrific route and gets the touchdown. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. by Mitchell with a great pass to Shamar Bridges. Bo 10 for 16, 139 yards, and that touchdown. Ottawa still leads 14-10. 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the opening half. REDBLACKS, here's Harris on a return. They've already run one back. Devontae Dedmon returned a punt for a touchdown earlier, and a nice return here by Harris. Got just beyond the 35-yard line.
Well, there was a lot of good from that last offensive drive there. They started off with a good first down, but then immediately found themselves in 1st and 20. Good gain on second, risked it and went for it on third down, and then back-to-back big throws down the field, Tim White and Shamir Bridges, and that was Bo Levi Mitchell orchestrating a really successful, really calm drive, even overcoming those obstacles.
So it sounds like Drew Brown will be the starting quarterback for the REDBLACKS this season. Spent a lot of time backing up Zach Valeris in Winnipeg. Dustin Crum, he's in, and we know he can run. He was under pressure, and he's going to run here, and boy, he took a hit. There, we talked about it with Tim White taking a hit in the preseason. We saw it last year with Crum. He does not slide. He'll take those hits, and he was rocked pretty good, but got 7 or 8 yards on the run.
Yeah, that was a couple hits at the end of this run. Head down, low shoulders. It hurts to watch, but right back in the huddle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he takes hits. I remember talking to some Tiger Cats defensive players last year saying, just go down.
Right.
Short yardage here for the REDBLACKS, and they fumbled the snap. It's Crum, and he actually was able to pick it up and do a lead with his back move off to his right, and he fell far enough for the first down.
Yeah, and that was actually a 2-yard attempt on the short yardage there. So, as you know, that, in my opinion, is a great opportunity to line up in short yardage and do some different things out of there, because you, have, in a sense, have a freebie. But they ran the 2-yard short yardage play on second, and even with the fumble, were able to. He snuck around that right edge, and like you said, sort of fell into the first down.
Everybody's so safe. I'd like to see some of that Tasker
Not me,
gambling. 5.5 to go in the opening quarter. Pretty good run developing here for Armstead, the running back. A shifty move at the line, and then a mini hurdle. And he gets across midfield close to the Tiger Cats 50. It's another first down for Ottawa.
Let's see if we see some pressure here, or maybe even a cover zero as they start to flirt with field goal range. Will this Ticat defense try to play a little bit of a riskier pressure and get a tackle for a loss here and take him out of points?
Ottawa leads 14-10. First preseason game of the year for both of these clubs. From the quarterback, fakes the handoff and runs to his right, and he has to throw it. Closing the gap on him was Robert Panabaker.
So they did bring pressure. It was man coverage in the back, not cover zero, but they brought more, and now we're going to get the holding on Ottawa here. So really great call there. They forced Crum out of the pocket.
Ottawa. The penalties decline. Second down.
Panabaker out of Western showed some great speed. Dustin Crum, we know, is fast, and that was a run play for the quarterback. Panabaker wasn't fooled.
Interesting. So they're declining that. They're going to opt to go for a 2nd and 10 here. Again, we're right on the cusp of field goal range. Even short of getting this first down, Ottawa could put themselves in field goal range, right, with a gain of maybe 5 or even less potentially. There's a big play that is impactful on the scoreboard right now.
Crum back to pass, pressure coming, makes the throw. It's caught by Pimpleton. He gets away from one tackle, and he's finally brought down, but it looks like he has enough for the first down to the Tiger Cat 40. DQ Thomas made the tackle for the Tiger Cats.
That was a good 2nd and 10 conversion there. And the Ticats, they were off a little bit. Their defense was sort of back right at the start of the play at that sort of 10-yard level. I don't know. I think Crum sort of had that almost pre-snap, that option to his left side.
Ball on the Hamilton 40, a handoff to Armstead again, started to his left and tried to cut back, and the Tiger Cats limited that gain to a yard or maybe 2. Looked like Thomas in on that one again. On the tackle for the Tiger Cats.
okay, offensively here, the Red Blacks, they're in a 2nd and 8. They're thinking, okay, we have the field goal right now. You cannot turn the ball over or take a tackle for a loss. They're up by 4, and as a defense, this is a heroic moment where a tackle for a loss can take you back out of that field goal range on a 2nd down.
Getting close to the 3-minute warning. Ottawa up by 4. Oh, a pass. It is incomplete after a big hit was thrown. There's Dexter Lawson. It seems he always has a big play in his back pocket, whether it's an interception or a big hit, and that Ottawa receiver very slow to get up.
Boy, that was just great timing. And yeah, the trainers are out on the field. He was up on his feet for a second, but certainly you can't imagine that the wind is not knocked out of him. The way that the timing of Dexter Lawson's shoulder pads coming in there, but great job to be physical at the point of the catch and to knock that ball loose, forcing the 3rd down and what would be a 46 or so yard field goal attempt.
It seemed Ottawa didn't know their teammate was down. They clapped out of the huddle and spun to get to the line, and a couple of players said, oh, wait a sec, can't go yet.
Well, you got to remember, there's still guys on your roster right now that you're learning their first name of.
Yeah, there's so many guys.
Yeah,
right?
You've been in training camp for a week or 2 weeks, and there's so many guys. And the Ticats just signed a pair of players on the receiving core and defensive linemen last night and this morning. I mean, things are very fluid right now.
So a big hit from Dexter Lawson, who's kind of been one of those players for the Tiger Cats that's been close to starting at the corner position. He's got a few starts and always seems to make an impact. Number 14 for the Tiger Cats, and he was just throwing a big hit, clearly not trying to injure anyone, but the hit popped the ball loose. 3:05 to go here, so we're very close to the 3-minute warning. Ottawa leading 14 to 10.
So I was about to say, it looks like they were lining up for a field goal attempt, and I think that they're switching now, and Ottawa's bringing on their punt team, and now the Ticats are responding by switching off their receiving unit. So very interesting. I mean, the most important special teams unit, if you had to choose one, is your punt team. That is, you have to have your punt team performing at a high level to win the Grey Cup in the CFL. That's just the way that the league works. And so steal another rep for your number 1 unit. I think it's probably a decent idea.
So likely wouldn't see this in a game.
That's right. You're going to take your points in a game, and I'm going to guess that they would have liked that to get that went into the end zone for the single. They would have liked a rep of coverage if they could have had it.
Right. So the kick goes a little long, and Geiger probably does what the Tiger Cats would have wanted him to do: take a knee in the end zone. It is a 3-minute warning here at Tim Hortons Field. 2:59 to go in the opening half. Ottawa leads 15 to 10. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Taylor Powell in at quarterback, and he fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, throws, and completes the pass to Omar Bayless, who makes a nice catch. Taylor Powell, remember his first pass in the CFL last year? Touchdown.
Touchdown. That's how you started off. A little energy out there, too. Omar Bayless with the catch and some violent downfield blocking from the Ticat receiver corps.
First down for the Tiger Cats right away. They're up to their own 53, very close to midfield. Taylor Powell, what rookie season he had. Third-string quarterback coming in, came in late to camp, wound up being the man, and here he is here under pressure and some composure as he threw that ball down. He knew he was probably going to get sacked, didn't see anyone open, just grounded the football.
Yeah, he's saying there was an eligible player.
35 was in the area.
Right.
No penalty for grounding.
Oh, perfect.
Right. Powell was arguing that right away when he released it, sensing that people thought he had thrown intentional grounding, but not so.
And he was in the area.
That's
very wide area.
That's right.
But that's smart of Taylor Powell, too, to at least get it close to a teammate to avoid a penalty in that situation.
That's right. He was about 15 yards in the pocket, too, so it's good that he did.
Now he's got a little more time this time. Stays in the pocket and throws, and it was intended for Kalen Geiger off on that left side, and he was a little bit open, but
Hamilton, number 56.
the pass out of his reach.
That penalty be declined. Third down.
Yeah, and that would have come back anyways, but Taylor Powell missed the throw there a little bit. I actually liked Geiger at the top of his route. He sort of runs a real deep 18-yard curl route, so he's on the left side, putting his left foot in the ground and coming back inside towards the quarterback. And Powell just missed that throw to the outside. It was a good route, but again, the penalties. And Ottawa declines this, obviously forcing the punt on third down, but even so, Ticats would have been facing, a 2nd and 10 had that been even completed.
Corey Vedvik. His kick up high, not very deep. Picked up just inside the 20. And the Tiger Cats, good punt coverage that time.
Felix Grand-Gauthier on the tackle as he covered down on the right side of that punt team. And it was a nice job closing the space. Without him there, I don't know, that looked like there was a lot of green field there to that side of the coverage team. Again, the punt team is so crucial to the flow of a game. And every single rep is going to be watched in the special teams meetings as you go. You've got to make the most of each live rep here.
2:10 to go in the opening half. Crum holds his right hand in the air, stomps his right foot, gets the snap, handoff goes to Armstead. Looked like he had a gap there. It was eliminated quickly. A nice tackle made by Trevon Mason. 6'5", 290 pounds. Mason's made a couple of nice plays for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, well, they loaded up the box. The Ticats had 6 guys right on the line of scrimmage there, and the Red Blacks, in a spread formation, and that's a hard defense to run into, but the Red Blacks gave it a go, and man, great tackle for no gain by the Ticats front D.
Mason battling for a job on that defensive line. He's going to get some looks from the coaches after a couple of great plays. 2nd and 10 from their own 30. Crum was back to pass, and Mason was right there to get in Crum's face. The whistle had already gone, though. Flag on the play. Minute 42 to go.
They're saying if the Ticats are going to decline this or accept it, this was against the Red Blacks. We don't know what the call is yet, but
Intentional grounding. Sorry. Time count violation. Hamilton, 10-yard penalty, be 2nd down.
Well, not Hamilton.
Yeah, hey, it's preseason. It's preseason. You learn from the preseason.
Right.
So that's on Ottawa. And the grounding was previous that didn't happen on Taylor Powell.
Right.
So we got it straight. It's a penalty on Ottawa. Dustin Crum, time count violation. Got a 2nd and 20 here for the Red Blacks. They're on their own 20, and a short pass to Armstead, hoping for some blocking, and he has a little bit of it, and he put a dent in that deficit that they needed. It won't be enough for the first down, but he did get across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was a pretty good setup there for the screen to the left side, offensive left side. With sort of a deep cover 4 shell by the Ticats defense, there's a lot of room down below in that flat, and 3 offensive linemen in good position ahead. So nice gain there from the Red Blacks offense, but 2nd and 20, not quite enough. They're forced to punt.
DQ Thomas, another tackle for the Tiger Cats. Cedric Wilcox in on that one as well. Kalen Geiger back for this Michael Damagala punt. Damagala from his own 20. Off the side of his foot, another short kick. This one will bounce inside the Hamilton 40. Geiger starts to the outside and tried to cut back into the middle, and he was already down and then tackled again. Surprised there wasn't a flag there.
We've seen Geiger a couple times and have mentioned him throughout the game so far, and now he's back in return position, and first-year guy from Texas Tech. Again, RJ, I want him to run up and touch that football.
Right.
It's free. It's 15 yards for free, and you don't even have to field it. You can fumble it. That's the way that the Halo system works. And I think it's uncomfortable to do that as a player, especially if you're coming from American football, where if you're sprinting up and you're going to field a ball, you're risking a huge collision in American football, right?
Yes.
And you're also risking fumbling the football because you have to field it clean. If you can force the punt team to violate the halo, it's just such a huge benefit to your offense.
First-year player, hadn't played in the CFL. I wonder if he even knows that.
You never know how far they've gotten in training camp. Everyone's trying to learn their own position and then try to learn all the special teams positions and the nuances if you're coming from American football. So there's a chance it's not unheard of that you see an American guy put up the fair catch symbol in practice. In practice or whatever in a preseason game. It's happened before.
So Taylor Powell was under pressure. He dumped the pass off to Kelvin Tyler Jr., the running back in there right now for the Tiger Cats, and Ottawa took a penalty. So automatic first down for the Tiger Cats. They're right at midfield, just under a minute to go in the opening half, trailing by 5. Taylor Powell in at quarterback, has some time, throws. There was a bit of traffic in the area, but T.J. Basher, 6'6", huge receiver, makes the catch, and it looks like he got 7 or 8 yards on that reception. Second and 3 coming up for the Tiger Cats. Clock is running, 46 seconds to go in the half. Empty backfield for Taylor Powell, looking left, throwing left. He was trying to connect with the running back, Tyler Jr. The pass was a little out of his reach, incomplete.
Yeah, that's tough. That a quick flat route to the left. As a receiver, you have a tendency to want to catch and already be leaning your body upfield to gain yards. That ball actually was pulling him back downfield, and after skipping off his hands, just a little bit of a miscommunication, or let's say a difference of opinion there on how that ball should be thrown, but going for it on third.
Tiger Cats were successful before on a third down. It led to their first touchdown of the game. That was scored by Shamar Bridges, thrown by Bo Levi Mitchell, and wide open over the middle, making the catch for the Tiger Cats was Jacob Patton, the rookie out of McMaster. He took a big hit afterwards, but he hung on to the football and got the first down for Hamilton.
Yeah, great job. Another third down conversion there, just about at the same field position as earlier in this game, and that is just past sort of center field. Now the Ticats are well into Ottawa territory after sort of risking it for that 3rd and 3. Looked like Patton, he was a crossing route from right to left. Just a one if he could have just kicked his ankles out of that tackle, it would have been a really big gain, or who knows what would have happened. And nice job by Powell, orchestrating the third down conversion.
Patton listed at 6 feet. He looks taller than that. Made a nice catch. Red Black injured. Looks like it might be a cramp the way they're reacting. It's Abu Darami Soare, who's heading off with the training staff. He is limping, but getting off under his own power. 34 seconds to go before we get to halftime and check in with Bubba O'Neill and Mike Daly, who will go over what happened in the opening half. Ottawa had a punt return touchdown. Tiger Cats have taken some costly penalties and trail Ottawa at this point by 5 points. There's 30 seconds to go, and Tiger Cats are on the Ottawa 38. Taylor Powell, empty backfield, throws, looking deep, and jumping for the football, not coming up with it, is another one of those receivers battling for a spot, Dev Holmes, who's 5'9".
Yeah, so close there. Powell, I actually liked the throw right when it left his hand. I thought to myself, that is perfectly placed. It did end up outside, but
It was actually T.J. Vasher, the 6'6" receiver, who couldn't come up with that, and Tiger Cats will keep this on the ground, run it up the middle.
okay, Gordon White, the long snapper's coming on the field. They're gonna try to kick this through. 16 seconds left, and it's 3rd and 3. I almost wonder, could you get this first down, give one shot to the end zone? I don't know. You're
In a regular season game, probably.
yeah, you might be right. Yeah, I think it's good. It's good situation to simulate, but where they're lining up to get the 3 now as the clock ticks down.
And you want Mark Leggio to be sharp for the start of the season. He's already kicked 1 field goal in the game. This is a little bit longer. First one is a 31-yarder. This is a 37-yarder, and it's good. So Mark Leggio, who was close to 90% last year, is connected on both of his field goals in this game, and that's it for the opening half. The Red Blacks with a 15-13 lead, and there'll be plenty to talk about for both teams, really, in this halftime conversation, but I would assume penalties and special teams will be a big topic of conversation for the Tiger Cats.
I think so. You gotta clean up the special teams. There has been some good special teams plays, but you've seen a lot of penalties, and of course, the punt return for a touchdown by Ottawa against the Tiger Cats punt team stands out. I will say, Bo Levi Mitchell, I thought there was a lot of good throws out there. I thought you can be pleased as a Ticat fan with how he performed. He was 10 for 16, 152 yards, and 2 TDs, pretty clean. And I think what also stands out is we had drops, both when Bo Levi Mitchell was in the game and then Taylor Powell coming in. You saw some sort of bobbles and some missed catches. So of those 6 incompletions from Bo, I mean, are 3 of them, 4 of them maybe a result of drops?
Majority,
or
absolutely.
at least could be catches. You know, maybe that one to Keandre Smith I'm thinking of, that would have been maybe a spectacular catch, but still, I think Bo looks well, looks healthy, and Taylor Powell, I'm excited to see the second half because I think he looks good too. Ticat defense, I think they're doing great.
Yeah.
You've got some penalties that led to an Ottawa touchdown, and of course their second touchdown came as a result of the punt return. I think this Ticat defense looks really sound.
Yeah, and there's some names we haven't heard before who've stepped up with big plays on defense as well, so there'll be some battles. That's it for the opening half at Tim Hortons Field. It's 15-13. Ottawa leads. Bubba O'Neill and Mike Daly are coming up with Ticats at the half. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network.
We're going to take the Preseason Futures Challenge on CFL Game Zone. We'll see in November how we fare. Which team will win the Eastern Final?
Hamilton Tigers.
Ooh, I actually was thinking along the same line. Which team will win the Western Final?
We're going to go with the BC Lions.
Third time is the charm over there. Who's going to lead in receiving touchdowns?
All great options. I'll go with Tim White.
There's a couple options that aren't on here, whether it's Tom Rhimes or Kenny Lawler or Nick Dembski. So I'm going to take the field. Which team will win the 111th Grey Cup?
Might have to be the BC Lions.
I also think BC.
In BC.
In BC. That's our picks. Don't like our picks? Go make your own. Head to gamezone.cfl.ca to play preseason futures today. Don't delay. Get your picks in by June 6th for your chance at a CFL Suite experience.
Levi Mitchell looking over the middle, throwing right. Shamar Bridges has separation.
Wow.
It's a touchdown. Great pass, great route running. Shamar Bridges, the touchdown, and the Tiger Cats close the gap on the Red Blacks. And you want Mark Leggio to be sharp for the start of the season. He's already kicked one field goal in the game. This is a little bit longer. First one is a 31-yarder. This is a 37-yarder, and it's good. So Mark Leggio, who was close to 90% last year, is connected on both of his field goals in this game, and that's it for the opening half. The Red Blacks with a 15-13 lead.
The halftime refresh is presented by the Decorating Centers. Find them at decoratingcenters.com or at their locations in Hamilton, Stony Creek, Beamsville, St. Catharines, Niagara Falls, and Welland.
Hamilton Tiger Cats 13. This is Tiger Cats at the half, presented by My Insurance Broker, Bubba O'Neill, along with Mike Daly. And before we hit up our alumnus of the station, Jay Langer, let's talk a little bit about what we saw in the opening 30 minutes of preseason game number 1 here at Tim Hortons Field. I would say to you, Mike Daly, what you would expect in the preseason. We saw some good, some bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And to start, come out hot, right? Bo Levi Mitchell leads the drive down there, and they kick a field goal and put some points up nice and early, right? It's starting fast. It's everything we talked about that the Ticats need to do, and did a really good job. After that, defense gets a couple 2-and-outs, but then penalties showed up, right? And what you're going to see in preseason as people are trying to get the nerves out and trying to get the excitement a little settled down. But the penalties lead to the Ottawa touchdown, right? And then that punt return, unfortunately, is what makes this a close game.
Devontae Dedman, we know he's made the team for the Ottawa Redblacks, but the way he made that work at 91 yards for the punt return for the touchdown, I think probably some discussion on special teams about assignments and staying in your lane.
Yeah, and the nice thing is that it happens in preseason when the wins don't matter, right? So now they can go back into film, see what happened, right? Try to adjust for the second half and get those lanes correct. But it's not just the offense and defense that need to clean up some execution here. It's the special teams as well. And to limit those type of plays, especially when the Ticats defense is playing so well, you really have to limit out those big returns to stymie an opponent offense.
I thought the defense did a real good job, especially on Drew Brown, only 4 of 6 for 26 yards. A lot of check down stuff, so that means assignments are being taken care of in the secondary.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And some sure tackles. Take out those 2 penalties that ended up leading to the touchdown for Ottawa, right? And the defense puts together a very good half, right? That one penalty was the out-of-bounds punt, and then the unnecessary roughness that drives it all the way back, right? The too many men on the field, which is going to happen in preseason as you're trying to work through some situations and rotations. But the defense, yes, put together a very, very good half and kept everything in front of them. No explosions.
You know, as the guys talked about in the booth as just before they closed out and through to us, they're talking about Bo Levi Mitchell. If you had any concern about that boot that he was wearing on his right leg, no concern. Looked really solid, poised, ball coming out on time.
Yeah, and especially early on. Like he was getting that ball out of his hands, getting it into his playmaker's hands, making some smart decisions, right? You'd see him kind of go through 1 read, 2 reads, and the one big play that he hit Tim White over the middle there, he went through about 3 reads and then got to Tim for that first down on second down. And then obviously that big time throw to who we've talked about, Shamar Bridges for the touchdown. That was awesome. You just don't want to see too many of those 2-and-outs that have kind of showed up in this first half.
Yeah, and there was some drop passes, but going right back to the touchdown passes to Shamar Bridges, we have been talking about him. He has been an obvious standout in camp, but I love the way he ran that pattern and did not stop, and the ball was right on time. It could not have been thrown better.
And I think that's what you're trying to see with Scott Milanovich and talking about the footwork of Bo Levi Mitchell and trying to clean things up and get them on time, is because offenses are drawn up for the ball to be at certain places at certain time. Anything that slows that down, makes it an off-kilter play, and you're not able to put the ball in the right place. But on that touchdown, exactly like you said, on time, in a perfect spot, big body receiver, it doesn't get much better than that.
I don't know if it's because it was preseason or if this is some forecasting to what we're going to see out of Scott Milanovich now that he is making the decisions offensively. 2 gambles on 3rd down.
Yeah, and third down, typical CFL third down is a 3rd and 1, but Gamble's like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and going for it and executing and pulling it off on, right? And maybe it is one of those things that we'll see more and more, right? Maybe the analytics guy up top with Scott Milanovich is a little more risky, let's say, but it is exciting, and you can hear the fans. They get excited that when the offense is staying out there and taking a shot. I'd like to see if that is a trend that keeps going on with this team.
One of the exciting things that we do here at Tiger Cats at the Half, presented by My Insurance Broker, is look back to the old school. And this is a real treat for me, especially watching someone that was as a player. I know this is a big treat for you, Mike Daly, because every time, like with Andy Fantus in the past, it's a big embrace because it's always a bit of a homecoming. And this is a homecoming for Jay Langa, today's alumnus of distinction for the Tiger Cats. Welcome back, my friend. It's good to see you. I'll tell you, I remember you hit a lot of people hard. You used to hit people real hard. You loved it, didn't you?
Yes.
There we go.
Of course, there we go. You hear me? Yes, of course I loved it. That's where I try to, round my game around, being very physical as I could. And just hitting someone through the face as hard as I could.
Mike's
kind of
just
old
enjoying
school.
it too. Mike, you were no different either, though.
Well, listen, in terms of people that I played with, I was lucky enough to play with you, Jay, and it's awesome to see you back here, and it's awesome to see kind of the embrace you're getting from everybody around here. You were a fan favorite for the time you were here, but the most physical player that I've played with. And a little secret about Jay, which I want him to talk about, is I think would that physicality have come from maybe the bullfighting that you might have done, or where was that?
Excuse me?
You know what? It definitely was. That's my Portuguese side, my mom's side, where the back home in Terceira, the island in Portugal where she was born. It's tradition to run with the bulls on the street, and I would do this in Canada, up in Ontario and Orangeville, and I would do that as kind of my off-season training, and kind of put the no fear in my mentality and just,
And how is it now that you're back, right, and now that you're able to see everybody kind of on that other side now where you're not playing? Is it awesome to get that embrace? What's that like?
Oh, it's great to be back. There's the best fans in the CFL, hands down. There's nothing like this place, especially here at Tim Owens Field. The blue collar over here, we play daily. We play for these people with our hearts and soul, and that's all that matters. And as long as we do that for them, they'll continue to support us like that, and we'll play our hardest out for them.
Well, Jay Lang, really enjoy your day. This is all about you. Again, to enjoy. You're familiar with the stadium. You're familiar with Tiger Town. Enjoy this day, and really appreciate you checking in with us here on the broadcast.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much, Daly. I appreciate it too. Pleasure having you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
Well, as we get ready for the second half, it is the Ottawa REDBLACKS with a slim 15-13 lead over the hometown Hamilton Tiger Cats. Coming up next, RJ and Luke from the broadcast booth, and we are streaming live at ticats.ca/listen and across the Ticats audio network.
Field, it's overcast again. Lights are on. First preseason game of the year, and an entertaining first half as far as the scoreboard. 15-13, Ottawa leads. A few kinks to work out for both teams, but that's what the preseason is for. Tiger Cats will be going from left to right to begin this second half. They're wearing all black this afternoon with the gold numbers, and Ottawa in all white with the red socks and shoulders. Michael Domagala set to kick this football off. We saw Lawrence Woods earlier on a return. Kalen Geiger gets this one at his own 20s across the 35 up to the 40, and a good return, but we're getting used to this on special teams, Luke. There's another flag.
Yeah, returned right to the 40-yard line. I think it's going to be a holding here. We'll see where the ball gets spotted. But Geiger, he's kind of all over the field. It seems to be like a guy they're really paying some attention to.
15-yard penalty. First down.
Oh, well, there you go. Not holding. This one's against Ottawa.
I think an illegal block.
Yeah, block in the back. Probably came at the end of the play as almost right as the ball was coming to the ground. Right to center field though for Taylor Powell.
So Bo Levi Mitchell, he played almost that opening half. Taylor Powell went 3 for 7, tail end of the second quarter. Handoff goes to Greg Bell, and Ottawa stands him up. He maybe got a yard. Both defenses were very strong in that opening half. Ottawa, they only had 83 net yards.
Yeah, and you can't even think back to many successful passing plays. They had a one first down back in their own end, but I think Powell and Bo, like we said before the half, have come out strong.
Taylor Powell back to pass, has time, now flushed out of the pocket, has an open receiver. It's the running back out of the backfield, Bell, who had to stretch out, make the catch with his fingertips, and he did and got the first down inside the 45.
Well, Powell kind of moved up in the pocket and escaped to his left. You thought you could see him bringing his eyes back down to Bell, which he eventually did for a first down, but he was late enough where he ended up on the ground with his jersey below his shoulder pad, took some contact there, maybe unnecessarily.
Ball on the Ottawa 41. Taylor Powell in the shotgun, looks over his shoulder, sees the running back Bell there. Handoff goes to Bell, he runs to his left, breaks one tackle, and then tried to cut upfield along the numbers on that left side, and he'll end up with a couple of yards gain.
Great job by Bell here on this drive, getting out of the backfield. He's the check down, moves the chains. Ball comes right back to him on the handoff. He's been working all game here.
No James Butler in this preseason game. James Butler over 1,000 yards rushing last season. Bell trying to make his mark. 4-yard gain that time. Gets the football again, this time running to the right. Not as much room over there. And he will only get a yard, maybe 2. So it won't be enough for the first down.
One of the things that has been talked about with Scott Milanovic and the way that he's forming this team in the offense is the use of tight ends and sort of fullbacks. They're in some formations and some body types, it's one and the same, but we've seen a lot of sixth linemen, tight end types in the game today, and it is interesting. It makes some things more possible with that sixth man with his hand in the ground.
Getting progressively more difficult for Mark Leggio. He's hit a 31-yard field goal, a 37-yard field goal, and now this is a 42-yard attempt. The hold by Vedvik is good, the kick is good, and Mark Leggio 3 for 3 in the game, and looks like he's all set for the start of the regular season. And the Tiger Cats, with that field goal, take the lead. They're up by a point, 16-15. We're early in the second half at Tim Hortons Field. We'll take a break and be right back. This is the Tiger Cats Audio Network.
Man.
Cats lead early in the second half by a point. Ottawa starting from their own 40 and from under pressure and completes the pass. It turns out to be a big gain for Ottawa down that right side. John Vay Johnson makes the catch, and they will get across midfield to the Tiger Cats 54. Take an opportunity to thank some of our listeners. Email gameday@ticats.ca. I want to say hello to George Araujo in Port Dover and Aquarius, who's listening to the Ticats audio network in India. Great to have you listening all over the world to Tiger Cats football. From under pressure, one of the Tiger Cats got a hand on him. He's on the run, trying to throw across his body, and he looked in front of him. There was a wall of black Tiger Cats jerseys, and he just hit the turf. That was enough. He wasn't going to take a preseason hit again.
Well, we saw Taylor Powell effectively begin his drive from the center line one drive ago. Now Crum's faced with a 2nd and 11 right from the center of the field after that first down throw. For the most part, the Ticats have done great on these second down attempts from the Ottawa offense. This would be a good one here prior to getting field goal range.
2nd and 11, ball's right at midfield. Crum calling the play, 3 receivers. To the boundary side, he's looking that direction, and the throw, it's a good one. It's complete down to the Hamilton 39. Another catch by John Vay Johnson, and it's a first down, so Ottawa keeps this drive going.
Carthel Flowers Lloyd at Sam linebacker was in coverage there. That is a tough route to defend. That's a deep out route, 12, 15 yards. That receiver from the inside of the formation breaks out, and it takes so long to develop, but if it works, there's nobody left in that low outside zone.
Crum has already doubled his passing yardage from the opening half, and this might be even more. He's trying to go deep, but that's well overthrown, and nobody could come up with that one. It is incomplete. Arquan Bush was the Tiger Cat defensive back who had the best chance at it.
Well, here's another attempt at a 2nd and 10, and in this beginning of this second half, Crum has been successful on a couple of more difficult second down attempts. Ticat defense looking for an opportunity to win one of these.
Ball's on the Hamilton 39. Crum gets the snap, pivots to his right, throws. He's got an open receiver, and very close to the first down is Keaton Brugler. Looks like he's got enough for the first down inside the Hamilton 30, spotting the football on the 29. Lawrence Woods in on that tackle with a little help from David Vereen. More of a tackle than a tickle. Handoff faked by Crum, and he's trying to run to the left and tracking him a long way. Vereen was in on that play as well. Lawrence Woods made sure that Crum couldn't get up the field, but we've seen a couple of nice plays by Vereen, who joined the Tiger Cats late last season and had a bit of an impact.
Yeah, and Crum, we've seen him take a number of hits already in the preseason game, and that one he was trying his best to get to the sidelines, but not before some contact.
He's durable. So here's a 2nd and 3 for the Red Blacks. Under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tiger Cats just fresh off a field goal, giving them a 1-point lead. Ottawa trying to get the lead back. Another pass from Crum. It's complete. Brugling won't go down. He's got all kinds of Tiger Cats, including Bush, holding onto the bank of his jersey, but he just kept those legs moving and got down to the Tiger Cats 10.
It was Panabaker, the free safety, switching positions with Carthel Flowers Lloyd. So as the strong side of the offense goes to the boundary, then Sam linebacker goes high and the free safety goes low to replace him in the formation. A couple crossing routes down to that boundary side led to that low throw being open, and Red Blacks putting together a nice drive.
Ball on the near hash mark. Ottawa going from right to left. They're on the Hamilton 10. Crum going end zone. Wow. Oh, a great pass. You can't get tighter coverage than that, but John Bay Johnson makes the catch. It's a touchdown. Vereen was in there, or actually it was Bush who was in there on coverage. And just a great pass by Crum to Johnson. Touchdown, Ottawa.
Yeah, it was sort of an interesting area for like a back shoulder kind of throw. It was really deep towards the back pylon. Hold on, let's see what's going on here. They're running the offense back out to the line of scrimmage. Or maybe they're just saying they want to go for two. It's hard to say here.
Yeah, they did. You're right. They had the ball back at the 20, and now they're moving up.
Right.
Wouldn't be surprised to go for two.
It looked like they were calling it a no touchdown, like they were lining up again. Okay, they'll go for two, but back shoulder throw and really nice drive there from Crum.
In a regular season game, there's a chance Ottawa would go for two here anyway, but it's a chance in the preseason to work on their two-point conversion. Crum in the shotgun. Three receivers, four of them now, getting up to the line of scrimmage and two out wide. Crum throws, and he's hit hard again. He ends up on the front of his number 18 on his jersey. The ball goes incomplete. Not sure if that was miscommunication, but no, Red Blacks were really close to that. And you might have heard the footsteps of Carthel Flowers Lloyd closing in, who forced him to throw that ball quicker than he wanted to. So Ottawa's back in front after that unconverted touchdown, 21-16. They lead with 8:23 to go in the third quarter. This is the Ticats Audio Network.
Courtney.
Welcome back to Tim Hortons Field. Kickoff. Lawrence Woods gets it at his own 25, and he didn't have a lot of room, but he was able to get the ball up to the 40 of the Tiger Cats. Back and forth game, preseason. Score doesn't matter a lot. We saw some mistakes in that opening half. So far, a little cleaner in the second half.
Defensively, though, I thought the Ticats in the first half really allowed very little rhythm, if any, for the Ottawa offense, and that was a pretty successful drive that ate up a lot of clock there.
Giovanni Robinson, one of the tight ends, is in there right now for the Tiger Cats, and he was on that right side. That's where the run from Greg Bell goes. Bell, number 5 for the Tiger Cats.
That's right, that was Giovanni Robinson along with James Tuck, so that double, it's a fullback and a tight end like we've been discussing with only a 3-receiver set. And now for a 2nd and 5, and not a bad gain on first down, 5 yards, but now they're going back to the 5 wideouts.
4 of them are on the field side off to the left of Taylor Powell as the Tiger Cats go from left to right. Powell wearing number 7, and he's sacked immediately. The ball's loose, And it just sat there for a while. Everybody was on the ground. Then it was a race to get up and get to that football, and it looks like Ottawa got it. Howell is slow to get up. He is up, though.
And that's something we've not seen a lot of in this game so far. Now you get a costly turnover in your own end, and Ottawa a chance on a short field coming up.
So Ottawa with the sack and the turnover, they get the fumble recovery, and they have a chance to extend their lead. It's 21-16 with 7:21 to go in the third quarter. This is the Ticats Audio Network.
Put Bubba O'Neill and 3 of the biggest CFL experts together on a show, and you're guaranteed to get a little heat and a lot of laughter. It's our way of ensuring the other teams get a little attention in our world. Catch the CFL this week every Tuesday on Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you find your podcasts.
Honey, I can't fit any more in.
Need extra space? Tackle your spring cleaning like a pro with Access Storage. Play offense and store your snowblower, winter tires, and seasonal gear to make room for your bikes, camping gear, and kayak. Make room for your adventures this summer. And touchdown! Access Storage, proud partner of the Hamilton Ticats, providing affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free.
Fresh off a turnover, Ottawa in pretty good field position there on the Tiger Cats 25. Dustin Crum, he'll just check it down, and now down to the 15. That's Kylan Hill getting his first touch. He's in at running back for the Red Blacks. 2nd and 1, so in the short yardage formation. Tiger Cats were pretty good last year at stopping teams in short yardage. A lot of flags flying here, Luke, as Dustin Crum tried to lunge forward for the yard. Five-point lead for Ottawa.
Offside, Hamilton defensive line. 5-yard penalty, result in a first down.
On the D-line.
The line, yeah. They were all eager, ready to go. That happens on short yardage. Easy first down, as it turns out, for Ottawa. Ball's on the 11 on the near hash mark. Still in the third quarter. Tiger Cats had a brief lead in this third quarter by a point. Ottawa got a touchdown. They went for 2 on their last drive, didn't get it, then created that turnover. A sack on Taylor Powell, then a fumble, and Crum's running for the end zone. He's there. Dustin Crum runs it in from 11 yards out. It's another touchdown for Ottawa, and it is 27-16. See what they do with the convert here.
Well, a little just option there for Crum. He decides to keep it, and he does. When he gets some space to the outside, he does have good enough speed to make that edge. Carthel Flowers Lloyd trying his best to come cut that off, but ran out of space there as they were nearing the end zone.
Ottawa will go for 1 here, and they're having some issues on their special teams. A little late to sprint on the field was Lucas Cormier. He got there in time, and the convert's good. Ottawa is up 28-16 with 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tiger Cats would like to get this offense going a little bit in the second half, Luke.
Yeah. Well, Ottawa has started this off with a drive down the field. They did a great job, had a couple hard second downs, got the ball into the end zone, and then they were given a freebie, in a sense, right on the Ticats' 35-yard line.
Yes. Dustin Crum reports are he will be the backup quarterback for Ottawa, but this second half he's trying to make a claim for the starting quarterback. He started for a lot of the season for Ottawa last year when Jeremiah Masoli went down. Ran that in for a touchdown, and he's gone 9 for 15 for 103 yards. The majority of that has been in this second half. And all of a sudden, what was a close game is now a 12-point lead for the REDBLACKS. Taylor Powell has gone 4 for 8 for 43 yards. Ottawa got to him last time and created that fumble.
Part of every preseason play, RJ, is you're mixing in with guys who you just haven't had a lot of chance with. Everybody's had their reps here and there, but inevitably you're calling a play with somebody who you haven't actually repped that play with that guy, and it leads to some like just really minor mistiming, you know, that can cause a disruption there. And the lack of momentum is sometimes just little things like that, just a couple plays in a row where it's just inches here and there.
First time full hitting since camp has started. Here's Kalen Geiger on the kickoff, gets it at his own 17, runs outside the numbers across the 35, but he won't get to the 40.
Geiger again has touched the ball a lot of times tonight, returning and at receiver. One of the guys in this receiving core who's looking to be a part of the roster in 2 weeks. Taylor Powell will surely be a part with Bo Levi Mitchell, and he's trying right now to establish some rhythm here offensively.
Well, Taylor Powell is a competitor. He won't like what happened on that last drive where he was sacked and the ball came loose. Ottawa turned that into a touchdown. Taylor Powell gets the snap, throws it, and diving for it was Geiger. He's really getting a look here for the Tiger Cats, but he just couldn't haul it in. It's incomplete.
Yeah, that was that 3-receiver set, double tight end that they're playing with, and Geiger out to the right side. No gloves on, by the way. You know, sometimes there's a lot of different reasons why receivers will play around with that. Sometimes it's the moisture, and sometimes it's to just change something up for yourself, but that would have been a really tough catch, gloves or not.
It was pouring rain earlier, but ever since kickoff, it seems to have stopped. Tiger Cats are on their own 38 here. It's a 2nd and 10 now. 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Taylor Powell has some time, has to throw to his left to the running back, and it won't be enough for the first down. In at running back now is Calvin Tyler Jr. He wears number 35 for the Tiger Cats.
And it's frustrating to watch. You know, every game there's some lull in momentum here, but the Ticats offense hasn't been able to do too much in the second half. To be honest, Milanovic and his coaching staff, they want to look at a punt rep just as much. I mean, they gotta like we've already mentioned how important this punt team is, and they've got to get this too. And now they get an opportunity from their own 40.
And Bailey Flint back into punt, and it's a very high punt. Waiting for it over there was Pimpleton. We were told he's going to get some looks at returner. He's not very tall, but he is fast. Tiger Cats had good coverage there. He had nowhere to go, and he's out of bounds at his own 34.
Yeah, a 35-yard net on that punt. It's okay, but the placement was really great on the kick. You'd like a little bit more depth and time, but that was just a really well-placed kick. It's very tough to get a big return when you're hemmed into the sidelines like that.
REDBLACKS in the huddle. Crum looking at a play on his wristband, claps his hands, and REDBLACKS are ready to go. Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter. They're up by 12 at Tim Hortons Field. First preseason game of the year. Sunshine at Tim Hortons Field. And it's given to the running back, Kylan Hill, who heads off to the right, and he'll have a nice gain on first down. It's like about 5, maybe 6.
Destin Talbert for the Ticats, number 46, in on the tackle there. But not before another decent first down from Ottawa.
So 2nd and 4 now. They'll give him 6 yards. Ball is on the Ottawa 40. Pressure's coming, and wow, he tried to stay on his feet, could not do it. Relentless, bringing him down. Trevon Mason, wearing number 94, and he's had 3 or 4 good plays now, gets the quarterback sack, and we might be seeing Mason around in a Tiger Cats uniform when he plays like that every game.
Yep, he's made a couple plays here, and that was great. Crum is battling so hard to break that tackle. He actually does for a second, but only to lose a few more yards and get tackled again there. It's just a costly loss of something like 12 yards there for the Red Blacks.
So Ottawa has to punt again. Michael Domagala standing on his 50. Lawrence Woods hovering around his own 40. And a flag flies immediately as that ball is snapped. Woods pushed back almost to his 35. Started to his left. Now he's got some room on the right side. Cuts to the middle. He's across midfield, the 45, the 40. Sidesteps another tackle. He gets inside the 25, and he's finally forced out of bounds. Lawrence Woods with a great return.
Wow, what a great time for it too. We've just been talking. It's been a very quiet half for the Tiger Cats. Ottawa's had the ball for most of the half, and now you're giving Taylor Powell a 15-yard field, though they are talking about some flags on the field right now. See what comes of this, because Lawrence Woods got his team fired up there at a very appropriate moment.
So many flags on special teams in this game. We saw it with Tyreek McAllister last year. He had a couple of returns brought back for penalties. But it looks like Tom Valanci's talking to Scott Milanovich.
Here we go. The ball's, we don't have a call yet, but the ball is way back where Lawrence Woods fielded this kick.
Procedure, 6 men on the line, Ottawa, holding Hamilton. Bounce those at the previous line of scrimmage, it'll be 3rd down.
Wow, interesting. So they can elect to redo the down, which, well, it's very exhausting to run a special teams play twice, especially, this is a punt formation, but especially when you see that in kickoffs. That's a classic moment where a kickoff gets returned for a touchdown, is when you had to replay the down, but we'll see how this plays out here. It is not Lawrence Wood back to return this one after the...
He needs a breather.
Yeah, honestly, that was a probably 60-yard sprint with a couple stops in the middle to change angle. So
during the season, it would be the normal kicker out there, or returner out there again, probably.
Most likely, yeah.
Kalen Geiger will try to return. He's got some big boots to fill after what Lawrence Woods did. Domagala's kick, about the same distance, right to the 35, and kind of the same developing here as Geiger gets off to the right. There's an opening over there. He's across midfield, across the 50, down to the 45, and another nice return. So that's 2 in a row. Woods, then Geiger. A good field position for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, nicely done. Not quite the Lawrence Wood returns that we just saw play before, but well across the center field, and Taylor Powell will have the short field he hoped for.
It was almost the same return. It looked fake to the left, go off to the right.
Yeah, it was kicked to the right side of the punt team formation, and the return team brought it back to the field side.
Hamilton starts from the Ottawa 44. Taylor Powell, lots of activity as Omar Bayless crosses in front of him, fakes the handoff, and then completes the pass to TJ Basher, the 6'6" receiver who pulls his way for a first down inside the Ottawa 30.
Well, I love how Vasher, especially with that size, he catches that, you call it a drop step, where you can catch the ball and at the same time position your feet to explode upfield instead of wasting energy to move and turn, and he did a pretty good job there.
Ball on the 29 now. Taylor Powell, 3 receivers to his right. Handoff goes to Calvin Tyler Jr., and he goes up the middle, then cuts to his right, and he'll have a pretty good gain. Looks like 4 or 5. No James Butler in this game for the Tiger Cats. Not a surprise in the preseason. Keep him healthy for the regular season. Another Ottawa Red Black injured, and
that is the universal signal for my calf is cramping.
Yes, yeah, reaching for that toe as you're sitting down with the leg out straight.
It is a grind, too. Surely yesterday and probably the day before, these guys had pretty light physical practices, but still you're in the middle of training camp, and it does build as time progresses. And there's nobody out here who's feeling 100%. You're just doing your best with what you can.
Ottawa had only 83 yards in the opening half. They've matched that, in fact exceeded it here in the third quarter, and have extended their lead to 28-16 in the first preseason game between these two clubs. They'll each have one more. Hamilton will play Toronto next Friday at 12. I want to say hello to some of our listeners who emailed us at gameday@ticats.ca. Adam Batista in Edmonton, Bob Cross in Regina, and Chris Witz in Gloucester, England. Great to hear where you're listening from. Ball on the 24, Taylor Powell throwing. Completes the pass to this near side, and it was Dev Holmes wearing number 83, another receiver battling for a spot, made the catch. Looked like he tried to cut up the sideline, might be slippery as he lost his footing and went down.
Well, I thought that was a great read by Taylor Powell. There was defenders right up on the receivers, sort of pressed, but they dropped off into a zone, and he read that open flat right away.
Ball now on the 17th. Fresh set of downs for the Tiger Cats on the near hash mark. Taylor Powell gets the snap. Handoff goes to Tyler Jr. He's tripped up a bit at the line, but then stays on his feet, keeps his balance, and gets down to the Ottawa 10. We're very close. We'll see where they spot it. Tiger Cats moving the football after a good return. First it was Lawrence Woods. That was negated because of a penalty, and then Kalen Geiger came in, gave the Tiger Cats good starting field position. They've got the ball on the 12. Getting toward the end of the third quarter, just over 30 seconds to go. Taylor Powell sees the pressure coming from his left, so he runs to his right, completes the pass, and down to the 5 is another receiver, Chris Coleman. He had a big black and gold game last Sunday.
10-yard penalty. Be second down.
Another penalty.
Holding on the interior there, that's going to draw them back, but Taylor Powell is controlling this drive really well. They're still playing around with that tight end. They moved the ball down the field there with 1 or 2 in for most of those plays. Now they're back with a second and long with a true 5 receiver set.
11 receivers have been targeted for the Tiger Cats in this game. 10 have made a catch. 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. To second and 15. Powell in the pocket, under pressure. He's going to run. He's got an opening. He's down to the 10, and that opening quickly closed. He wisely slid. He'll be close to a first down.
Yep, and they're going to send in big bodies here, probably maybe for a short yardage attempt. It's third and 2, excuse me. But Powell stays in the field, so they're going for this first down one way or another.
Tiger Cats had a gamble in that opening half. Third and 4, if memory serves, and it was successful, turned into a touchdown. And here's a third and 2, and Taylor Powell is in the shotgun. So not in a short yardage formation. Handoff goes to Calvin Tyler Jr., who breaks one tackle, keeps going, and he's got the first down, running off to the left. Made it look easy.
Great job by the Tiger Cats just recapturing the energy of the game here and getting this first down. Now you get a fresh set of downs just about at the 5-yard line, and they did overcome a penalty here as well.
Well, that's 3 quarters of play at Tim Hortons Field, and REDBLACKS lead 28-16, but the Tiger Cats are threatening, and we'll find out what they can do when we start the fourth quarter when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. his right, throws to the corner of the end zone. It is caught. It's a touchdown. Tyler Turnowski.
What a great catch. Wow.
This is a Ticats Audio Network.
Tiger Cats to start the fourth quarter. Taylor Powell hands off to Kelvin Tyler Jr., runs to his left, and it might be a bit of a loss on the run. Tiger Cats move back to the 6-yard line. So they're in good position here to score, but it's a 2nd and 6. They'd love to get a touchdown. They're down by 12 in this first preseason game for each of these teams. Taylor Powell, empty backfield, looking, nobody open, takes a couple of steps. Oh, he had a man, and it was tipped away at the last moment. He was looking for Jacob Patton, who looked like it was open, but a nice defensive play there by Ottawa to knock the ball away, and it goes incomplete.
Powell staying on here for what's going to be a 3rd down attempt. Back to the 5-receiver set.
Oh, you're right, Luke. The 3rd down gambles have been pretty good for the Tiger Cats. Yeah. Let's see if they can cash one into the end zone. 3rd and 6. Taylor Powell, 3 receivers to his right. He's looking that direction. Double pumps, throws, and there it is.
Oh.
No. Jacob Patton had it for a second and couldn't hang on as he went to the ground. They're calling it an incomplete pass. So close to a touchdown.
Wow, what a great throw. Powell is patient, and he has a flat route underneath sort of a sail deeper in the end zone. He chooses the sail, and I think he puts the ball in a really good position. When you have to turn back for the football like that, you've got to almost spin and catch and roll in one move. In that case, that ball's sitting there in almost like a catch in the hands by Patton, but the defender just has too much time to throw a fist in there and dislodge it.
So the Tiger Cats don't get any points. They turn the ball over on downs. Ottawa takes over from their own 6, going from left to right in this fourth quarter, and a pitch to the running back Hill, and he's high-stepping his way up close to the 20. He's tackled, his helmet falls off, and he doesn't care. Grabs the helmet, he's ready to go again.
That was a successful run to the right side there to dig themselves out of deep in their own end.
14-yard run for Hill on that pitch. We're in the fourth quarter now, just under 13 minutes to go. Early fourth quarter. 12-point lead for Ottawa. Dustin Crum has done a nice job in at quarterback. Another handoff to Hill. This time he's running to the left. There's some good blocking over there, too, and he'll be close to a first down once again. Looks like he got 7 or 8. Tiger Cats will travel to Calgary for their first game on June 7th. Another preseason game next Friday. A lot of learning from this one this afternoon. Hill gets it again. Why not? Nobody's stopping him, and he goes forward again, gets another 5 or 6, good enough for a first down, and he's just a little short of the Ottawa 35.
And the fourth quarter ticks away. Less than 12 minutes left in the game, and you can get 7, 8 yards a carry here and move the chains. Taylor Powell or the Ticat quarterbacks aren't going to have much time to try to put something together.
Ball now up to the 34 of the REDBLACKS. They started this drive on the 6 after Hamilton failed on a gamble on 3rd down to get the ball into the end zone. There's Hill again. This time they slow him down. He got back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more than that.
Well, definitely a passing situation coming up here for the Ticat defense with 2nd and 11. Great stop there behind the line of scrimmage. Sort of relieve the pressure of that few run plays in a row, just right side, left side, and middle. Now you're going to get a chance, these DBs, to try to make a game-changing play here.
Ottawa pushed back to their own 33, so it was actually a loss of a yard. From passing, just as you predicted, Luke, and John Bay Johnson makes the catch, but it was a short pass, and it's only about 4 or 5 yards, nowhere near enough for the first down.
Great play there. We saw Richard Leonard in the first quarter of this game do something similar, just be in great position to even allow that catch, that 5-yard hitch route on a 2nd and long, but make sure that you come up and make a sure tackle. Make sure that offensive player with the ball falls backwards, and well done there by the Ticat defense.
Ottawa punting again. Lawrence Woods. It's a good punt from Domagala. High, and Woods gets it at his own 20, right near the sideline, tries to get back to the numbers, now heading back to the sideline, now back to the numbers, and that's not a big space between the numbers and the sideline, but it was going back and forth, trying to get something to open up. It never did. He'll be up to the 30-yard line of the Tiger Cats to begin the next drive. It's 28-16, fourth quarter, under 10 minutes to go. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Kalen Geiger makes the catch. That makes 11 Tiger Cats receivers who've made a catch in this game. So the third Tiger Cats quarterback, Kevin Thompson, 28 years old, was in the USFL last year, played a couple of years in BC, but didn't have any statistics. And here he is going to run. Looks like he's got some speed. Off to his right, cuts to his left. And he needed to get to the 40 for the first down. He's probably going to be a little bit short of that.
They're sending out the heavy personnel already, so they're going to go for this in their own 39-yard line, which is a good decision, obviously. You got down by 12, and this is a makeable short yardage.
How many third down?
Yeah, a lot, huh?
We've seen a lot in this game. That could be exciting. It is preseason, so I don't know how much weight that carries. Good to work on it, and Kevin Thompson actually might be one of the short yardage quarterbacks for the Tiger Cats this year. So here he is under center and dives ahead across the 40.
It's a good point. If the roster was set as it is now, Kevin Thomas would probably be the guy taking these reps, you'd think, before Taylor Powell. Generally, you're going to use your third guy if you suit one up. Well, good, successful attempt there.
So Thompson with a completion, a nice run, and a short yardage. Now up to the 42-yard line. Tiger Cats. Thompson back to pass, throws over the middle. That was tight coverage, and Ottawa was able to break it up. That secondary's done a pretty good job on these past two series.
It was close. It was a tight space there, but I saw what he was seeing for just a second, but it would have had been a perfect throw and catch.
Chris Coleman, the intended receiver. Just under 8 minutes to go in the football game. Tiger Cats are down by 12. They're facing a 2nd and 10 now from their own 42. Empty backfield for Thompson. He's standing in the pocket, has time, looks to his right, and can't complete the pass. Dev Holmes, the intended receiver.
Holmes, number 83, he's sort of at that sail route depth, like 15 yards to the left side, and it was a long field over that way. When you have a deep outbreaking route to the field side, the ball just takes forever to travel there, and that needed to be just a second or two earlier there from Kevin Thomas. I think it was a good direction to go with the ball, but not quick enough to get there.
Hamilton is challenging for defensive pass interference. We'll review the play.
So there's a challenge, a preseason challenge for defensive pass interference. We will take a break as they take a look at this one. It's 28-16, 7:46 to go in the football game, and a challenge is ongoing. We'll have the result when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. On the defensive pass interference challenge by Scott Milanovich. Dev Holmes, 5'9", of all times for the 5'9" receiver to get the high pass. Hey, Luke, the 6'6" receiver, TJ Basher, might have not had to jump.
I'll bet it's a no call.
After review, we have pass interference. Ottawa number 27.
Preseason for me too.
First down.
If he had waited one more second, he would have had the call.
I know, but I wanted to be right. That's why I had to say it first.
But. Of course, but you were the opposite.
I like to risk it for the biscuit, you know.
So it's a good challenge by Scott Milanovich. And Tiger Cats keep the drive going.
Yeah, way up into Ottawa territory.
Where are they going to spot it?
Okay, actually, take it back. Not that far into Ottawa territory.
So for our listeners, they did have the marker at about the 40 of Ottawa, and they've drifted all the way back to Ottawa's 50. So they got it straightened out. Tiger Cats need points. Kevin Thompson battling for that third quarterback position for the Tiger Cats, wearing number 6. He's in there with time. Checks it down. Calvin Tyler Jr., the running back.
Wow.
Stayed on his feet. He was probably going to be tackled for a loss. If he wasn't so agile, he jumped over that tackle and turned it into 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, just a great second effort. There was Matthew Peterson on the screen, and the Ottawa REDBLACKS broke through the setup of the blocking wall there, but man, he stayed on his feet for a good game.
Yeah, pardon me, Matthew Peterson gets the football again out of the University of Alberta, and they let him finish the job. He gets the first down, and the Tiger Cats are inside the Ottawa 40.
good for Kevin Thomas to get out here and to stay on the field. Get a little rhythm, of course, helped by that pass interference call against Ottawa, but all the same.
Ball onto the 36. Thompson back to pass. He's going deep, looking in zone. Oh, just broken up. Another one that seemed to take forever to develop. Marcus Rogers, who was signed yesterday by the Tiger Cats. Wouldn't that have been a debut? First pass in his direction, close to a touchdown, but Ottawa broke it up.
Yeah, it sure would have. Get right up here and catch a 35-yard touchdown pass. Just a little bit more on the ball there from Thompson, and it would have been there. Rogers did have the leverage on his man in coverage.
That brings up a 2nd and 10 now from the Ottawa 36. 4 receivers to the right for Thompson. Got some time, pressure coming. Now he's scrambling. He may run. He's got some room, too. Up the middle, down to the 25. He needed to get to the 26, so he's got enough for the first down. Thompson spotted an opening and ran the football, got the first down.
Great run, great decision to run, or more so the timing of deciding that it's really time to take off, and looked athletic and pretty quick down the field.
Tiger Cats now moved up to the 24-yard line. Thompson a throw, and there's a catch for the newly signed Marcus Rogers. Rogers spent some time at Chicago Bears camp, and he was let go, and Tiger Cats brought him in. 6'3" receiver, 210 pounds, went to Troy University. Just over 5 minutes to go. Tiger Cats now down to the Ottawa 22. It's a 2nd and 8. Thompson, he's had great protection, throwing to his right and nobody over there. Is that some miscommunication preseason? Not everybody on the same page?
Looks like it. I think Ottawa had a little miscommunication as well, as Patton for Hamilton, Jacob Patton, number 71, was kind of dropped, left all by himself, but Thompson had already made the decision to stay to his right side. Didn't see the open Patton to the left.
Haven't seen a lot of punting from the Tiger Cats later in this game, although it is under 5 minutes to go. They're down by 12. It's 3rd and 8, and they're going for it. Scott Milanovich, he's not afraid to try things. Let's see what happens here. Thompson throwing over the middle. It's a great catch.
Wow.
Touchdown, Tiger Cats. Deb Holmes on 3rd down makes a brilliant grab on the Kevin Thompson throw.
Wow, what a great throw and catch. A little seam route up the middle of the field from the left side. And I like the speed that Thompson gives this ball in there. He knows that there's not a lot of time and space in there. That was caught kind of right under the goalpost, overhanging the goal line of the field. And there was Red Blacks kind of all over the place, but he puts it on a rope. And nice catch up above the head, right as he crossed into the goal line. That's Dev Holmes. What a good drive, and another great play on 3rd down. The Ticats going for it this time, not just for a first down, but for 6 points.
Dev Holmes, the opposite of what we've seen brought into camp for the Tiger Cats. So much size at receiver, but Holmes is 5'9". He was the one who had the pass interference that Scott Milanovich challenged on and kept this drive going, and then makes a great catch for the touchdown. Tiger Cats going for 2 now. Thompson gets the snap, rolls to his right, low pass, and not hauled in by Patton, who was the intended receiver. So the 2-point convert attempt is unsuccessful. Tiger Cats have closed the gap, though. They're down by only 6 with 4:29 to go in this preseason game. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. minutes to go. Tiger Cats got a touchdown. Nice throw from Kevin Thompson, who's in that battle for the third-string quarterback. This is Devontae Dedman again, returning a kickoff as the Tiger Cats got close. He returned a punt in the opening half.
The Ticats, couple big returns against tonight. As we've discussed and as is apparent, you know, the special teams, it's hard to rep in training camp, and you got good film now to go on. But we'll see. The clock's ticking down, and down by 6. Ottawa's got pretty good field position to start off.
It was a good return. That's why I thought it was potentially Dedman, but it was Khalil Pimpleton who's getting some looks at returning. Got the ball up to the 44 for the REDBLACKS. Keep the ball on the ground. A couple of missed tackles that turned into what wouldn't have been much of a gain to a pretty good gain on first down. That was Ronnie Brown with the carry.
Pimpleton's a guy who apparently has been eye-opening to see in camp with some amazing speed and explosiveness, and probably a player that the Ticats will have to deal with a couple times this year. And Ottawa, with a guy like that and Dedman, that's a pretty great combination.
Yeah, they both have been dangerous returning kicks. We're getting close to the 3-minute warning. Play action. Crum on the run, and how about this guy? He just took 3 more hits to get the first down. He did. He got across midfield into Tiger Cats territory, gets the first down. He is a durable quarterback. You don't see many quarterbacks willing to take hits, especially in the preseason.
That's right. It's one thing to take a hit like that to get the first down. To me, it seemed like Crum kind of already had earned that first down.
Well, I got to correct myself. It's Jake Dunway in there now, but he's running like Dustin Crum. He wears number 16. Crum wears number 18.
Yeah, they kind of look like each other on the field.
And that's a Crum run.
It's not our fault. Yeah, exactly.
Where you're going to he'll take hits. So looks like they've got another one in Jake Dunaway. 3:12 on the clock. Ottawa leads 28-22. A few players we'll see in this preseason that we won't see in the regular season, so the rosters are our best friends on games like this.
Of course. Yeah, all of these guys hoping they have done well enough in their role tonight to continue with another week of training camp and get ready to see Toronto at Guelph, which will be the end of the Ticats training camp a week from now.
Dunaway in at quarterback, and this time it's a handoff. Again, Tiger Cats, a few of them had to get in there to make the tackle. Ronnie Brown got another carry. And that will take us down to the 3-minute warning. Ottawa in Hamilton territory. They're right on the Tiger Cat at midfield, which is just inside the Tiger Cats 50. It's 28-22, Ottawa leading in this preseason game. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network.
Tiger
48 and completes it. It was a low pass, a nice catch, and Ottawa gets another first down. So just back from the 3-minute warning, and Dunaway, the third quarterback for Ottawa, moving the sticks.
Yeah, great catch. He scooped it right off the turf, just past the chains.
Ottawa leads by 6. This preseason game getting close to its conclusion. Handoff, and the Tiger Cats, 3 of them coming in to make that tackle. It's again to Ronnie Brown.
So this would be an area for, in a game situation, for just an absolutely heroic sack for a loss here. You're down by 6, so a field goal puts you into a 2-score game. And right now at the 39-yard line, a sack for a loss, and you're starting to flirt with makeable field goal distance.
They had to hold Casey Sales back on the sideline. He led them in sacks last year, but Casey played early on, not in now. Brown gets a pitch from Dunaway, and he's breaking tackles again, gets inside the 30, and that's enough for a first down.
This fourth quarter, we've seen a couple of really good runs from Ottawa to the outside. Just the Ticats defense struggling to set an edge there and force that ball carrier back into the middle. That was a little pitch out to the left, and they weren't even going to risk, even though it was a passing situation, they weren't even going to risk that sack for a loss, and instead made it on the ground and first down.
Under 2 minutes to go. Ottawa down to the Hamilton 29-yard line. They're on the far hash mark. Handoff goes to Brown again, started to his left, and a sharp cut to his right, and he was close to the first down again. A good run on first down. He needed to get to the 19, and he's almost to the 20.
Since that 3-minute warning break, couple runs on the ground, and Ottawa's already eaten up half of the time left in the game. A minute and a half left, and they've moved the ball 20 yards or so, but great job controlling the time and the football on the ground.
And that's part of the preseason, something to work on.
Always, yeah. I remember we were, even early in training camp, we were always practicing situations of, depending on what the circumstance was, staying in bounds or getting out of bounds, getting the ball to the ref quickly when you were hurrying, or slowing it down like the Red Blacks are doing now. And that too, both for this Ticat defense as well, practicing this situation is huge.
Jake Dunaway, the quarterback for Ottawa. Ball's on the Hamilton 20. It's a 2nd and 1 here for Ottawa. Ronnie Brown, the running back. Tiger Cats get him right away, and this time he's not breaking any tackles. Panabaker in there, and a couple of other Tiger Cats with the big stop. Now what do the Red Blacks do?
I'm assuming we're going to see the field goal unit go out there and put this to a 2-score game. Looks like that's what's going on now. We do have an injured Ticat on the field.
Trying to see who it is. Looks like it. 78 might be Curtis Woodmansey, the brother of Coulter Woodmansey.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're bringing a few of the team doctors out onto the field to meet him down there on the ground. He was up and chatting with the training staff, but hard to tell what they're examining now. And late in the game, late in the training camp, you just, your body is just weak at this point.
First preseason game. We'll get a lot of footage that will be helpful in team meetings. What have you thought in this game so far, Luke?
Yeah, we're pretty deep into the roster at this point. I was impressed with the Ticats offense for a lot of this game. I'm also really impressed that we didn't see a crazy exchange of turnovers. There wasn't a lot of turnovers at all. Taylor Powell, of course, got sacked, a sack fumble in the backfield at one point that led to Red Blacks points. But decent ball security. I think the penalties are kind of an obvious one. We've seen a lot of game-changing penalties. They're bringing the cart out on the field, unfortunately.
Yes, Coulter came out. He played early in the game on the offensive line, of course. To see his brother and a few Tiger Cats on a knee. Late in this game, that's a heartbreaking injury. Hopefully, Curtis Woodmansey will be okay. Ottawa leads 28-22. And one of the things in preseason is you really want everybody to come out of it healthy. So this is unfortunate. You're right, Luke. He was sitting up earlier, and they got him on his back.
Yeah, now they're taking full precaution and sort of stabilizing him as he's laying sort of flat against the turf. He did sort of greet the training staff as they came onto the field in a sitting position, and I think that they maybe had him lay back down.
Tiger Cats, excellent training staff. So they'll get some of the bigger guys out. Coulter just waved, so Joel Figueroa comes out. Zott comes out. And Coulter will be, they're going to try to lift Curtis. He's a big man, 6'3", 290. Applause from the crowd as Curtis is getting put on the cart. And we wish him all the best. Hopefully it's not as a serious injury. All the Tiger Cats have come out now.
The whole bench is cleared, and the whole team is out on the field, along with coaches and trainers, of course, and just sort of giving a tap on the shoulder or the leg as they're going to try to get this cart off the field.
Yeah, you can't even see the cart. The Tiger Cats have gathered around it. Well, again, we hope for all the best. Curtis is in good hands. He will be looked at. Never like to see anyone get injured. He is moving his arms. The cart heads off the field, so a solemn end to this football game is Curtis Woodmansey taken off the field on a cart, and Red Blacks get set for a field goal. It will be a 27-yard attempt for Michael Domagala, who's done both the punting and kicking in this game. And Domagala's field goal is good. And Ottawa takes a 31-22 lead. Just a minute 9 to go in the football game.
That would be super meaningful points for the score of this game. That's sort of that would be the dagger if it was points were the biggest of biggest importance here. But one more drive. It's great to be able to work this as well for the Ticat offense, who now they're going to have a minute 9 to drive down the field and try to get into scoring territory.
Ottawa will kick the ball off. Kalen Geiger back there for the Tiger Cats, as is Matthew Peterson, who came in this fourth quarter from the U of A and had a couple of nice runs. But Geiger in that battle for returner for the Tiger Cats. Domagala's kickoff. Oh, Geiger dropped it. He Had it at the 10, dropped it, spun back, and sees some open field ahead of him. He's got a pretty good return developing. Wouldn't this be something? Gets across the 40, and then he's forced out of bounds by Michael Damagala, who kicked the ball off. And it looked like it was going to be a difficult start to that return, and Geiger turned that early drop into a nice return.
Yeah, he did. Sometimes the timing of that can kind of mess things up a little bit in an unexpected way. And in this case, he found an edge to the left side, to the return's left side.
So under a minute to go now for the Tiger Cats, down by 9. Kevin Thompson in at quarterback. He's got time throwing deep. They don't have much time to make something happen, and he was looking for Marcus Rogers again. They're trying to get a look at Rogers, who they just signed yesterday. He's been targeted a few times. Big receiver, but he can't come up with that one.
Yeah, Thompson giving him a chance, though. It was kind of interesting. He sort of got tangled up with the defender, but still was in play to make the catch. That was close to being a big reception.
2nd and 10 for the Tiger Cats from their own 44. Thompson, again, good protection. Looks to his right, nothing happening. Looks to his left, then he spots Coleman, who makes the catch and gets across midfield. Good enough for the first down.
Right there, you've got to just step out of bounds. You've got the first down there. There's no reason to get tackled there. You need to catch and immediately make a move to get out of bounds.
Ball up to the 53 of the REDBLACKS. Thompson under pressure, gets away from one tackle, and he sprints, and that looked like it was going to be a loss of maybe 10 or 12. Instead, he turns it into a gain of 4. Got away from that potential sack, and he's got some speed.
Yeah, he does.
So that's a 2nd and 7, but Tiger Cats don't have much time. 20 seconds to go in the football game. Thompson over the middle. Chris Coleman again, and that was a dangerous spot for a receiver. Luke, you've been there.
Yeah, the pass a little bit outside of the body, but still catchable. I thought that was going to get pulled down there, and I like the decision from Thompson to find that second level, which would have been a first down. Now they're stuck in this 3rd and 7 here.
And only 17 seconds to go in the game, down by 9. Thompson back to pass again, throwing deep down this near sideline, and in heavy traffic, Rogers can't make the catch. That was Deshaun McNary in on the coverage, and you can't get much better coverage than that. Just knock the ball away.
Yep, the only correction you could say is to try your best to go run back and go up for the football. Sometimes the timing of the play doesn't allow you to set your feet right to really try to go and attack it. And of course, it's the end. Thompson. It's one last play to try to make something happen. Now that turnover and downs will sort of be the end of it here with 11 seconds left.
Rogers just signed yesterday, so
right.
That's just pure athletic talent right there.
Yep.
Speaking of not knowing everybody in camp, he might not know anybody very well.
Yeah.
11 seconds to go. And Ottawa, in that victory formation, they'll take a knee. And they'll have to do that one more time, but Ottawa's going to win this opening preseason game. Score doesn't matter. In the regular season, Tiger Cats have won 10 straight against the REDBLACKS, so they've had plenty of success. Ottawa expected to be better. Tiger Cats expected to be better as well during the regular season, and coaches will have a lot of good information from this game. And is that the most important thing in a preseason game?
Yeah, I think the coaches have a list of things they hope to learn in a preseason game, and I think we saw a lot of good and a lot of bad, which is what you expect. They're going to be able to have some great teaching that comes out of this game. I specifically think of the special teams, the coverage, both good and bad. The returns, we saw sort of a collection of returns, but a lot of speed out there too. I mean, there's a lot of guys that touched the football tonight. You mentioned all the guys that got targeted. I think it was 11 when it was all said and done, of wide receivers who were throwing the ball.
13 in the end, including some running backs, but
yeah,
13 different players were targeted with a pass.
And then, of course, your 3 quarterbacks. And my net opinion of what we saw today was that you can be pretty pleased with what's going on in the Hamilton quarterback group. Of course, being led by Bo Levi Mitchell, who played as clean a preseason game as you can play, pretty much. I mean, he did a great job with the 2 touchdown throws, no interceptions. Taylor Powell and then Kevin Thompson. I think that's a hopeful position group right there. So I think overall that was a successful preseason game for Hamilton.
You're right, Bo Levi Mitchell. There were questions when he showed up at camp in a walking boot. He was great. Some of those incompletions, certainly not his fault. Tim White had 4 targets, caught them all. So, a couple of big names there on offense, and they looked like they were on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you got to work out some of those drops, some of that stuff. I thought, like we said, it was good ball security overall. Not a ton of turnovers, which sometimes you can expect to see in a preseason game, where the contact sort of adds a new layer of necessity to your ball security. But and of course we saw what looks like, to be fair, it looks like something of a serious injury with Woodmansey there at the end. Apart from that, not a ton of other guys that we noticed went down, and you really hope that, right? And we of course hope that Woodmansey is going to return quickly from his injury as well.
Well, the Ottawa REDBLACKS win this preseason game, 31-22. Tiger Cats postgame with Bubba O'Neill and Mike Daly is coming up next. Luke and I will join them, and we'll hope to hear from Scott Milanovich and a player as well. So for Luke Tasker, I'm RJ Bridehead. Thanks for listening to Hamilton Tiger Cats football on the Ticats Audio Network.